Are you there?
Yeah,
I got you, buddy. Right on. How are you?
good.
Awesome. William, thanks so much for coming on. Welcome to Lysanderland. Uh, I'll give
Thank you.
you. Oh, good.
Yeah.
I'll give you a brief. I'll give a little introduction about you, sir. In 2003, this man became the most famous man on American Idol to have never won the show and was dubbed the worst singer in America or the world. However, in 2004, he releases his first album called Inspiration, and two more after that, including a Christmas album called Hung for the Holidays. He's been on numerous talk shows, including The Tonight Show. Actually, back up. That first album, just so everybody knows, sold 350,000 copies around the world, which I think is pretty good for a guy dubbed the worst singer in America. Right? I think you've done pretty well for yourself, sir. So, again, you've been on numerous talk shows, including The Tonight Show, Ellen DeGeneres, and Howard Stern. You've done two TED Talks,
Hmm.
and now you're an author with a book called Champion by Choice about
Yes.
how you took adversity and became successful. You're now a motivational speaker, a gamer, and professional poker player, which I think a lot of people don't know.
Yes.
William Hung, welcome to Lysanderland.
Thank you.
So, where have you been?
I've been everywhere. I traveled and performed around the world.
Okay.
During the first 4 years, I went to Hong Kong, Malaysia, Singapore, China, even Iceland.
Wow. You're from Hong Kong originally, right?
Yes.
Okay. And then you came to America, or you went to America
Yeah.
when you were a child. How was that growing up?
How is that growing up? I would say it's pretty normal. But I would say that I always wanted to try something new in my life. That's been my philosophy. I got that from my mom. She taught me since I was a young age that it's okay to fail as long as you tried your best,
My
and
mom
that's
too.
something I carry with me throughout my life.
That's awesome. Awesome. Moms are the best. My mom taught me
Yeah.
the same thing. I'm half Filipino, so I'm half Asian myself, so I understand Asian moms. Um, Try new things. Absolutely, very important. Do you still get stopped on the street?
Sometimes, yeah.
Yeah, you're known as the she bangs guy.
Yes.
I love it. I love it. How did you overcome all that? Because I remember watching that episode of American Idol with my girlfriend, who's now my wife, and I remember Simon and Paula, and I think it was Randy Jackson. And Simon, of course, was just rude, and told you couldn't sing, you can't sing, you can't dance. And the coolest thing I took away from it was that you said you tried your best and you have no regrets. And you said it
Yes.
with a smile on your face. And that's one of the things I love about you. You're always smiling.
Thank you.
No problem. How was that when Simon said that to you? Like, what's he like?
Well, he crossed his arms. He's like the mean, brutally honest guy that you might expect. But it's not a surprise to me. I knew that going into the audition. I knew Simon was going to be the mean guy. Paula was going to be the nice lady. Randy is going to be cool and quirky. So it didn't surprise me. So that's why I was able to stay positive.
That's the other thing about you. Where do you get your how do you always stay positive? What is it through all these adversities? Um, I mean, being in the spotlight after all that happened, and people calling you the worst singer in America. I mean, even now you're still smiling about it. How do you do that?
Well, I would say you look beyond the labels that people put on you. It's more like how do you value yourself? Because the way I see it, I know I'm not the best singer, no doubt about that. I mean, I'm not going to compare myself to people who are musically trained for the whole life.
Right.
But the point is that for entertainment, maybe I need to take a step back and look at it as I'm bringing happiness to my fans. My fans is what gives me the energy every day.
And you got a fan here, my man.
Thank
I
you.
I remember seeing that and thinking, my girlfriend was, well, wife it now, was saying, "Oh my God, look what he's doing. Oh my God, they're just cutting him up. Simon's so mean to him." And I was there going, "This guy's awesome. He just owned it. And then he stood there and said, 'I have no regrets.'" I mean, you could have, hey, you could have given Simon the two middle fingers, gave him a stone cold stunner, and then gave him the finger again and walked off, but you didn't do that.
Right. Most people that got angry and upset did that when they don't make it to Hollywood.
Yeah, yeah, and but not you. But through all that, because of that, you actually got a record. You got a record deal.
Yeah, I
Um,
know. Crazy.
how was that? And you did a music video as well.
Yes.
How was that whole ordeal? I mean, it must have turned your life complete. Must have made a complete 180 in your life,
Yeah, I didn't expect that. I was a civil engineering student
right?
at UC Berkeley, but because of those opportunities, all of a sudden, I took advantage of them because I only going to live once, and I don't want to have regrets moving forward.
Yeah.
So I took a chance on my future.
You did the talk show circuit.
Yeah.
You were on Jay Leno, Howard Stern. I actually watched that one. That one, I don't know. That one actually, it really showed me your personality.
Yeah.
You're just a regular guy. You're very certain topics come up you don't want to talk about. You let him know right away, and you stood your ground. I thought
Yeah.
that was really strong. He wanted to talk about you jerking off and what do you do alone? Do you watch porn? What kind of porn do you watch, William? And I'm like, I
None.
can't believe you're doing this to this guy. But you stood your ground. You said, I don't want to talk about that. No, we're not talking about that. I'm sorry. No. And that you stayed true to yourself.
Yeah.
And that's a big reason why I wanted to have you on, was to
Thank you.
meet you and just meet another person that's just like that, who's just true to themselves, says, "This is who I am, take it or leave it. If you don't like it, hasta la bye bye." Right?
Yeah.
So you still get stopped by people on the street when you travel, and
Yeah. It just happened yesterday. After I had dim sum at my local Hong Kong restaurant, it was so funny. Like there are a couple like older Asian ladies like asked me, "Oh, wait, you look so familiar."
and do you tell them, or do you lead them on
I
and say,
told them, and then let me stand beside you. Let me have a picture with you. I know I couldn't believe it. It's still happening to this day.
"Oh, that's hilarious. That's awesome." Do you still get people asking you to do shebangs?
Yeah, in fact, that's part of what I do now as I
Hmm.
evolve over the years. I do something called Cameo, and I would record a short video message combining singing and motivational message for people.
Oh wow. About the motivational stuff. How long have you been doing that for? Was that before or after you wrote the book?
Before I wrote the book, but definitely way after American Idol. I
Yeah.
started doing motivational speaking around 2017.
Okay.
I knew I always had it in me, but I just didn't see that as a possibility no, until I decided to explore. Nobody told me to do it, but it's what I wanted to try.
Yeah.
And then I reached out to some of my friends in my network from Toastmasters. For people that don't know what Toastmasters is like a speaking forum or program, nonprofit. You can join for 6 months. It's like $45. Improve your public speaking for the long term. So that's how I got a lot of connections from a program like that. And then someone referred me to be a closing keynote speaker for one of the events
Okay.
in Los Angeles. So I was like, oh wow, that's a nice way to start.
Absolutely. Who are
So that's how
some
I got into it.
who
Yeah.
are some of the I know you spoke as a keynote for Remax. Um,
Yes.
you've spoken for some other big companies as well.
Yeah, yeah. I did MC for Microsoft.
Yes.
Yeah. So it's quite a journey. I also spoke in like some of the events in Singapore.
Okay.
That was fun. I flew all the way to Singapore. Visit there again. Yeah.
Being a gamer, I bet doing it for Microsoft was a big thing.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't know I was gonna be a gamer. But I just thought, wow, what an honor, you know. Like I thought I
Abs-
could meet Bill Gates. But I did. We didn't get to meet him.
okay.
It was more like a virtual screen for us. Yeah.
Wow. Do you are you still doing a lot of traveling, or
Not
do you
as
live in
much
LA
right
now?
now. Yeah, it's I might start doing it again later this year, but not yet.
Obviously because of COVID, right?
Yeah, yeah.
I saw somewhere that you got COVID. How was that?
It was brutal.
Yeah.
I thought that for the like 7 to 10 days, my life could be over. You just don't know. I was
No.
having chills. I was feeling tired all day. I couldn't do anything. It was awful. I hope nobody has to go through that.
I'm under lockdown right now, and that's actually one of the big reasons why I started the podcast. So knock on wood, I
Oh,
haven't gotten it. A good friend of mine, actually my very first guest, Tat Romero, he'd gotten it, and he said it
yeah.
wasn't that bad. So I guess it's one of those things that affects different people
Everybody's
differently.
different. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
it all depends on I guess your background, if you have any underlying conditions.
I was very healthy. Like I had not no underlying conditions. I eat fairly healthy overall.
Yeah,
My physical exams, like everything's clear, right? Perfect.
right.
So yeah, it's like I don't know, man. It was scary to be sure, for sure.
Absolutely. If you don't mind me switching gears, um, how what's I'm up in Canada. I'm under lockdown, so I'm actually at home quite a bit. The only time I really leave the
Yeah.
house is when I go grocery shopping. I do that early in the morning, and then I come back and I do a lot of work from home. What's the situation down there with the Asian racism? I hope you haven't experienced any of that.
I'm very, very fortunate to be in Jacksonville, Florida right now. That's
Okay.
where I'm at. Not too much of the issue there. Like I don't see it on the news like, oh, someone getting clobbered from behind.
Yeah.
Nothing like that. Yeah. But unfortunately, in California, New York, Chicago, and even Atlanta,
Yeah.
yeah, it's really awful. And I feel really bad that we couldn't go out there and feel safe. And that's not right.
No, it's not. No, not at all. It's- I I mean, I'm half Filipino, so I'm half Asian as well.
Yeah,
I realize I don't look it other than maybe my brown skin tone. Um, I worry a little bit, more so for my mom, because
yeah,
she looks full Asian, Filipino. Um,
right.
so I worry for her. But you being from Hong Kong, Asian descent, it's I wasn't sure if it was tough for you as well, or like
I
what's
mean, it definitely bothers me. I also want to be standing on the right side of change as always. When
absolutely.
it comes to issues like this one, I strongly believe that violence is not the answer. Definitely, we should be like just respect each other regardless of the race, because we're all just one race, the human race.
Yeah, absolutely. In 100% agreement with you. The year is now 2021, and we still have to go through this,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
I find it just appalling, actually.
yeah.
But you know, it you're not going to change how some you can only control what you can control. That's something I've sort of taken as I've gone along in life. But
Yeah,
hey, what are you going to do, right?
yeah.
So so what else do you do now? Like, are you under lockdown as well in Jacksonville?
It's less of a lockdown here. You could pretty much do almost everything, including going to indoor amusement centers and watching movies now.
Oh wow,
So yeah, I mean, of course they had to wear a mask. They all require masks here,
right.
but it's a good thing. But it's pretty good here. Where there's not the cases are not too bad here. So yeah, I'm grateful. I took a risk by moving to LA to Jacksonville,
Right.
and unfortunately, that's how I got my COVID. Sometime during my trip or my flight.
It could have been, could have, yeah, who knows? Who knows? How was that? How was it flying?
I mean, I took all the precautions. I had my I even show you. I had my face shield. I had my mask on. Everything. Yeah,
Wow, and you still caught it.
yeah. Well, because I need to eat. Yeah,
Yeah, well, that's something we have to do as human beings, I guess, right?
yeah. I guess it was a long flight. Yeah.
Absolutely. How long have you been in Jacksonville?
3 months now.
Okay, are you enjoying it?
I feel good. I'm grateful for the new environment. I can explore, do a lot more. In fact, that's some of the things I should be doing. I've been stuck at home a bit too much. With the computer, with recording all that stuff. Right? Even like playing poker. Yeah, I mean it's fun to play poker, but still I'm stuck in a room, right? So I
Right.
really need to be like do explore more in my local area.
Is it more about your poker playing? Is it more online stuff that you're doing? I guess you're not able to
No,
go
it's
out to
in person.
you're
Yeah,
doing a
we
lot of the.
yeah,
How often do you play?
pretty often. Almost every day except for Mondays. It varies.
Yeah.
Like so there were times when I don't play that often. But I would say this starting this month and moving forward, I'll play more often, just because I enjoy the game. It comes back to like finding what brings you joy and happiness. Like there were times when I don't feel good, I'm losing, I'm not playing great mentally, I don't feel good, I stop playing. I think that's one of the biggest lessons that I learned in my life that you can apply whatever you do. It's like you should only do something when it brings you joy, when it brings you happiness.
And so what you're saying is you at any time you can pull yourself out of a shitty situation.
Yes, yes, yes. Because I intentionally chose to play cash games. It's not instead of tournaments, because in tournaments, I mean, unless you want to just give up your chips, you're kind of stuck there, right?
Right.
So you don't want to do that. You would pay hundreds or thousands of dollars for entry, so you don't want to do that. So that's why I chose cash games. Whenever I feel I want to quit, I quit. When I want to play, I play. Right? It's a lot easier to manage that. And I think another lesson I learned this year is be intentional about what you do. Poker is not my end goal. Yes, it's a necessary thing for me to do. But I would say the way I look at it is like, okay, first of all, in terms of chasing dreams in an authentic way, you have to have your roof over your head. You have to bring food to the table. We all have to do that. And so I would never apologize for what I do. Well, whether it's poker, whether it's cameos, everybody has to find their own way and what they can do to create the life they want. But once get the basics, basic necessities settled, right? Now we think about like, okay, what is the bigger mission? So it's not something that came overnight. It took me how many years? 2004, right now it's 2021, 17 years for me to discover my true calling. And my true calling is to help people try something new without being judged or ridiculed. I don't know the how yet. It will come to me. I know it involves, doing podcasts like this one, putting myself out there more often. But it also comes from trying out new experiences or having unique experiences in my life. And that's how I can share the value, the stories, and the experience with more people.
Your philosophy is amazing. You're very inspirational. You're very, very inspirational, Catman. Um, I can't thank you enough for being on. Through doing this. I hope you're able to help a lot of people through this, through your motivational speaking. I think it's fantastic. You're like a modern day Buddha. You're going out and like a modern day Buddha slash Jesus, my man. And you're out there. You're just spreading the good word.
Thank you. Yeah, I would say it went more like modern day Confucius.
Yes, modern day Confucius. That's good. Are you if you don't mind me asking, are you a religious guy at all? Have you I know I saw an interview where you were studying religion in as a course. Is that something that you'd pursued, or is that something that you're applying to what you're doing now?
I would say that I'm always thankful for God and Bible. Because I remember back in college, I was on a big slump. I was about to flunk out of Berkeley. I wasn't doing well in school. And then I found some of my classmates. They told me to go to Asian Bible studies. On a Friday night back then, and that really helped me. Give me hope again. And then they invite me to join their study sessions, and then my grade improved dramatically. I wasn't straight A's or anything like that, but still, I got out of probation. Everything's good, right?
Right.
So that is something I never forget. Like that's something that most people don't talk about. Like you have to think about like sometimes in your life when you're down in the dumps, you need something to pull you out of it. And for that, I'm always grateful. But in terms of like how strong I am in terms of religion, not that strong. So,
Right.
so
Same.
I hope that helps you. I am thankful and grateful for whatever the spiritual being every day.
Yeah.
Even surviving COVID, that's
Yep.
another thing to be grateful for. I
Absolutely.
would say that gives me more motivation than before because now I understand I cannot take my life for granted each and every day.
You wake up just a grateful person just to be alive.
Yeah.
So in Lysanderland, we practice Lysanderism, and that is my belief. I believe that as human beings, you can believe whatever you want to believe. You can do whatever you want as long as you're not hurting anyone.
Yeah.
You're not bullying anyone. You're not
Right.
being you just don't be an asshole. Just be cool. Let's just all get along. You do your thing. I'm gonna do my thing,
Right.
and let's just be friends. At the end of the day, let's just be friends.
Yeah.
So, what would your advice be to most people that are in a bad situation?
Oh, if you're in a bad situation, I would say that first of all, like you have to acknowledge the situation and accept responsibility for take responsibility for where you're at in your life, regardless of what that is. Now, I don't, I've been in two failed marriages before.
Oh,
After American
congratulations.
Idol. So
Okay.
I would consider that's pretty bad situation. So the way I would manage it is I look at it. Okay, you know what? Whatever happened happened. But maybe I wasn't ready to have a marriage yet because I didn't know what I want in my life. I didn't know what I want to create yet, right? And so that's part of the journey. So whatever your best situation is, look at it as part of the journey, and then figure out, okay, what is the best way I can deal with it? Like, let me put it this way: what's the best result you can get from this worst terrible situation? So sometimes it's just walk away. Sometimes it's to just pivot. Another real example that I'm dealing with right now is that this year, like beginning of this year in January, I tried to do stock market because I wanted to grow my money, but the economy wasn't good for that overall. I
Did,
lost like 15% of my portfolio. So I'm not even financial advisor. I wasn't but I wasn't crazy. I wasn't trying to go crazy with GameStop or anything like that. But the point is that like that's a bad situation. I just
Yeah.
lost a lot of money that I earned.
Yeah.
That I worked so hard for. And I feel bad. I feel dumb. I feel like, okay, wow, should I still continue doing this? But that gives me new perspective. That teaches me that, hey, maybe I need to respect the money that I have. I need to be really careful. I can't be reckless.
Gotcha.
So everything bad that happened to you, it happens for a reason. And the most important thing is you learn something from it. And then, okay, well, how do I do something differently next time? Well, now what I'm doing now is that I'm more conservative. I'm putting out quite a bit of the money from stocks, put it into something else that's much safer,
Right.
maybe put on other investments, or even just saving it for a rainy day so I
Yeah.
can invest in the business, right? That's way more important. So that's how I managed it.
Did you attempt to do that during COVID?
Yeah, like I said, I just try. For me, I always want to try something new.
Yeah,
Each
absolutely.
year or each quarter. And that's what I did at the beginning of this year. So yeah, 2020, what the stock market was great. It's like fantastic, but this year not so much overall, right? It's up and down, up and down. So yeah, so I would say that be careful.
I do wish I would have got in that GameStop though.
Of
Even
course,
right?
but you gotta be careful what you wish for because that's something that you cannot manage the risk, and that's another. So that's on. So everything that's a big lesson I learned right from that one, right?
Right.
So everything that happened to you, as long as you learn something valuable from it, you can use it to be better.
Yes, very true. Very true. I apply that to my life as well. Yeah, you can't. You got to take that situation. Sometimes step back, and
Yeah,
you got to look. You got to be that. You got to look outside into it, and then just
yeah,
take. Maybe pull it apart if you have to, and see what you
yeah.
learned.
Right.
There's always a lesson to be learned in everything
Yeah.
we do, whether it's good or bad.
Right.
So you so because you're the shebangs guy, and that's what you're known to, and that's what you're known for. You got to meet Ricky Martin, and not just meet him, you got to sing with him.
I know. That's so crazy. Never
That
thought that would happen in my life.
that was a couple of years ago,
Yeah, 2018.
2018. How did that happen?
It happened because one of my friends listened to the radio and then she heard Ricky Martin talking about me and saying that how he wants to perform with me. It wasn't the first time he did that, but 2018 was for real. So my friend told me, hey, you gotta go reach out to the radio station. And then the radio station in LA connected with me with Ricky Martin's manager, and that was it.
He was a big fan of you. You weren't just a fan of him. He was a big fan of you.
Yeah, so that was an incredible experience. I'll never forget. Ricky Martin is so down to earth. He's so good. He's so nice, right? He's very successful, but he's also gives back a lot to his community, especially in Puerto Rico or Latin America. So I really like the way he approaches his life and his fame, and that's the way I approach it too.
I think that's exactly what you're doing. You're certainly spreading a good message with your positivity, with your motivational speaking. Are you getting a lot of motivational speaking gigs? Is that
Yeah, I'm doing like virtually now.
okay?
And it just depends on what you're looking for. Like for me, my priority right now is to do more podcasts and virtual speaking events online. Full disclosure, I mean, because my focus, my business is based on Cameo right now. Like
Yeah,
my primary income is from Cameo.
yeah.
Like I don't feel pressure that I have to get paid to speak. And right now it's important to put yourself out there even if you don't get paid to speak, because that's how you make yourself known in the world.
Well, you're my third episode, so I appreciate you not asking for any money because I don't have any. I'm just a guy that wants to get out and meet people, and it's funny how it's funny how this all started because I was actually dusting off my CD collection, and I
Oh,
ran
wow.
into inspiration. Dude, I remember when that CD came out. My wife told me that you had a CD coming out, and I thought, no, really? Oh yeah. We can go get it at Zeller's. So we went and got it. I
Yeah.
blasted it. We had a Chevy Cavalier, and
Oh.
I blasted that thing, and she was driving like this, and I'm in the passenger going, she bangs. Man, it was great. It was great. So yeah,
Yeah.
so I remember seeing that and thinking, I wonder what this guy's doing, and that's when I reached out to you on Instagram.
Yeah.
And you're one of those guys that replied, and I appreciate that so much.
No problem. I try to reply to all my fans as much as I can. As long as you're not like spamming me, like
No, no,
selling me your marketing
no.
services,
I get that.
I try to respond to most like fans. Yeah.
I get that. Those guys get deleted, and then they get unfollowed, and then they get deleted, and then they get blocked. No
Yeah.
thanks. I don't need it. I got other stuff I got to
Yeah.
do.
Yeah.
So, where can people find you if they wanted to
Right
speaking?
now, yeah, right now my most active platform is Instagram at williamhung.co. Definitely check out my cameos. You can just type my name, William Hung. The link is there. Yeah, I hope that I can brighten your day. If there's anything I can do to help and support you, let me know. And finally, the new venture, one of the things I've been thinking about, I do like 3 month goal, okay, like 3 months at a time. So my next like major 3 month goal would be something like affiliate marketing. And it sounds like fancy, right? But it's not. It's about so what it is like I'm just promoting the products and services that I use.
Right.
Yeah, that worked very well for me, right? Never promote something they haven't done, okay, that I haven't used.
Yeah, I agree.
Like you only do it for stuff that I have done. It's worked really well for you, and yeah, I think that aligns with my mission pretty well. So I would say check out my upcoming posts. So for example, I promoted like one of the online program for poker, teaching you poker,
Okay.
because that's what I use, right? That worked really well for me. I'll be doing other things like Amazon, some of the mics that I'm using, the computer that I'm using.
Right.
That's a pretty good way to do. It's a income generating idea for sure.
That is awesome. So you really are always trying new things. 3 month goal. How do you find these things to try out?
I think you can't. This is something not something you can force onto yourself.
Yeah.
But what I do now, like last year or two, is that I try to do like meditation and journal every day, and then you let the inspired thoughts come to you. If it feels like an inspired idea, one of my great mentors and coaches, I really want to give her a shout out.
Absolutely. Please do.
Her name is Jacqueline Peterson from Joyful Living Mindset. And what she taught me is that you shouldn't be chasing money first. It should be based on like does it align with your life mission? Does it align with your values? Like one of the cool things that she asked me is like, could you do this day in day out without getting paid? If you don't get paid, would you do it? It's like, yeah, heck yeah, and that's how you know that's something that wants that matches you.
Got you. Got you. That's so important. I think one of the other things, it obviously it's what you're doing is helping people,
Right, right, right.
and you're really genuinely just putting yourself out there, and you're helping people with your message, with what you're doing. And we appreciate that, man. I think it's really cool.
Thank you.
So we'll end it off. But I was wondering if I'm not gonna get. I don't want you to sing because I know everybody gets you to sing. I was wondering if you'd like to do a duet.
Oh.
Hey,
Do it for what?
we'll do it we'll do it together, and then
Okay.
all right, we'll do it.
All
We'll go.
right.
She bangs. We'll just do the chorus.
Okay.
All right. She bangs. She
Bangs.
bangs.
She bangs.
Oh
Oh,
baby,
baby. When
she
she
moves.
moves,
She
she
moves.
moves.
I
I
go
go crazy
crazy
because
because she
she
looks
looks
like
like
a
a
flower,
flower,
but
but
she
she
stings
sings
like
like
a
a bee.
bee.
Like
Like every
every
girl
girl
in
in
history.
history.
She bangs. I'm wasted by the way she moves. She moves. Oh man, William, thank you so much for coming on. You have made this old man very happy, and I will be having a smile on my face every day. And I can't wait for my wife and kids to see this video because they're gonna get the first viewing, and I can't wait to see the smiles on their face. Just know that you are bringing smiles to everybody you meet. My man, you keep smiling, you keep doing your thing, and keep spreading your good word.
Thank you.
My pleasure. William, you take care. We'll see you soon.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.